What is up, everybody? This is your guy, Sugi JRPG here, and today we're gonna be talking about my top 5 Final Fantasy IX mods that you can get for the PC. Now, starting off with the Moguri mod, which is by far the most popular mod there is, which we kind of talked about in great length in my Final Fantasy IX review video. So in case you didn't see that one, here's a bit of a recap. So basically, the Moguri mod developers basically used AI upscaling technology to upscale all the backgrounds inside the game, all the textures inside the game. So whatever it's the battle backgrounds or the backgrounds that you see on the world map or in the specific cities, all of those have been basically got the HD treatment now, and it looks very modern, it looks very nice compared to the original graphics that we had for this game. Also, they created out a widescreen support, which can be toggled on and off depending what you desire to do so, and this widescreen is basically supported on the battles, on the world map, and most of the locations inside the game, so you will be seeing the whole area instead of like cropped out, view. But not all the zones are actually like fully widescreen, so there will be like a small crop in certain segments still in the game, depending on which area or dungeon you are at. There's also support for original fonts, analog support. There's a lot of bug fixes, also 30 FPS FMVs, which makes this a lot more, much more modern look into these FMVs, which still look great to this day, but playing on a lot more faster FPS actually makes them look very neat in my opinion. There's also a reorchestrated soundtrack by Pontus Hultgren, and this is a more like a lot more modern sounding soundtrack, I would say, and this is also something you can toggle on and off. Top of all of these overhauls and graphical features, there's a couple of cheats that are also included in this mod, such as like 100% steal rate, max damage, and also like you have adjustments on the actual battle FPS inside the game, among other small tweaks that you can do. But overall, Moguri Mod is definitely a must install, especially because it supports a lot of the other mods which we're going to be featuring in this video as well, and also it's very incredibly easy to install. The next mod on the list is the Playable Character Pack mod, which basically allows you to play different characters outside of the main roster. This includes Lani, Fratley, Kuja, and also Cinna, Blank, and Marcus. And all of these different characters are something that you can basically equip at any point in the game, not just in the phases on disc 3 and 4 where you're basically allowed to change your party members. There's basically a button that you can push which opens up the menu where you can change your roster. And basically all these characters do use the existing abilities that are already inside the game and used by the other characters, so these are not totally new made characters in any capacity. Also, their models do not reflect, if they equip a different item, and some of the characters have, overlap obviously with the items with some of the other characters inside the game. So for example, Fratley will be using Amaranth's weapons and also Freya's weapons altogether. Now, some of the models are a bit different in quality in terms of their animations compared to each other. Like Kuja's animations, it's a bit more stiff, there's not really much going on there, and they don't have exactly the same camera systems in place as the traditional characters have. But definitely it can be a quite interesting playthrough if you're actually going to be going through with these different characters instead of like the ones that the game offers you, and also probably going to be giving you a lot more different experience early parts of the game when you are like using Beatrix against Beatrix, for example. That can be quite interesting. And they all start out from the level 1 outside from Beatrix, to my understanding, so depending on even if you have leveled out Blank in the beginning or Marcus, they will be still starting out from level 1 once you're going to be activating. But there might be some differing features regarding this thing whenever you're going to be enabling this mod, so it can be used on already existing mods that there already are. But for the people who are really big fans of the game and maybe want to change a bit of their experience, this is definitely something you can do. However, not all the characters actually come out with trans or some unique features, and that's something would have been probably very hard to code, but it would have been cool to see at least like one unique ability per some of these characters that were introduced. But it is what it is. But this is definitely another very, very cool mod that has been created for Final Fantasy IX. Now the third entry on the list is the Memoria mod, and this basically allows you to adjust the FPS inside the games. You have the ability to adjust it into 60 FPS up to 120 FPS for this game, or you can even lower it into 15 FPS or 5 FPS or 45 FPS, anything that really suits you, because when we look at these old games, 60 FPS looks very, very good on the world map and also on the field, but it does feel somewhat interesting on the actual battle. So there might be a certain sweet spot of an FPS that you want to go for to make the game look the best way and feel the most fluid, because we are talking about games that were originally created for the PS1, and it just doesn't feel very natural to sometimes run them on actual 60 FPS. Believe me, I played around with a lot of these mods with these old games, and they don't always look very natural because certain elements and special effects inside these games were meant to be played especially on those lower FPSs. But obviously, let me know what FPS do you think feels the most natural to this game outside from the traditional FPS, which I believe was around like 20 to 25 FPS to 30 FPS on the field. But let me know what you think about the FPS on the actual comment section below. Next up we have the Kupo add-on mod, and this is basically a visual overhaul on the menu system. It also changed the character portraits, because if you have played the Moguri mod or some of these other mods, they don't have an actual overlapping similar art style for all of these character portraits for all of these characters, especially like ones that are, you know, partially in the party, like Blank and Marcus and etc. So in this one we have kind of like a one specific art style which is crossing over for all of the characters, which is actually very neat, and this kind of gives you a bit more of that anime style look for those people who prefer it. And it also comes along with this sort of an overhaul of the menu, which has two different styles. One is this more blacker one, and one is a lot more blue. So depending on what type of art style you're actually going for, and obviously this changes out the text and the, you know, the dialogue between all the other characters when you have any type of dialogue going on inside the game. So this is all visual preference. Some people like the OG menus that existed on Final Fantasy 1, and some people obviously enjoy the ones that we have on this PC remake. And you know, you can toggle around with it, so that's a good thing. If you like the blue one, you can switch around back to black one and then back to blue one, whatever you know, when I feel like it, you know, spice up your own gaming experience. But I have to say that this is a pretty neat mod, especially if you like those character portraits, which I have to say they're kind of growing on me and versus the original ones made for the Maguri mod. But this is another mod that you can basically get through the Memoria mod bundle. Now the last mod on this list is called the Kuja mod, which is sadly not working 100%. So basically what the mod is supposed to do is to change the field character and the world map character into Kuja, and also change Zidane's character in battle into Kuja. Now I was able to get the character working on the world map and also on the field, but not on battles. On the battles, it was still Zidane, and the mod also, by the way, changes the character portrait of Zidane into Kuja, and obviously in Daguerreo you can go change the character name into Kuja for like a higher immersion. Now the other option obviously is to just use Kuja from the other mod that we featured second in this video, which is not exactly the same experience because it doesn't change the character into Kuja on the field, but you know, in case you want to play as Kuja, at least you have that option through that mod. Now also the other problem of this mod kind of is that the Kuja's animation for running is kind of dumb looking, and because he doesn't run at any point in the actual game, so you kind of had to create out this sort of weird custom animated thing here for Kuja. But altogether, I mean, it's an okay mod. Initially I was supposed to feature a similar mod which was using Garnet instead. However, the problem was that that mod was not working at all. I tried multiple times installing it and uninstalling it, changing the, you know, placing on the menu with other mods, but no, I was not able to get that mod working. Maybe some other people have higher luck on that. And this is kind of like decommissioned mod as well, so I'm not seeing that the creator will go further enhance this one unless there might be a explosive interest on modding again after Final Fantasy IX Remake is announced. But this is basically my list of top 5 mods for Final Fantasy IX right now for PC. There are some other mods obviously on Nexus and on Steam and on all these other databases. They are kind of a bit more minor and change certain things. There's a couple of balance mods as well, but these are the ones that I think, you know, drastically change the gameplay from a visual point of view at least, that might be, you know, spicing things up for you, for those people who want to replay the game again or play the game, you know, back in the past and now want to just enjoy the game on a new, different type of light. But thanks for watching. Obviously, stay tuned for more Final Fantasy related videos, reviews, and maybe we're going to be featuring some other mod. And I'm going to link all the links for the mods in the description. But thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more. I will be seeing you in the next video. Cheers.